What's up guys, CyberHoudini here and welcome back to your daily dose of gaming. Happy Friday, we made it to the weekend. Thank God for that. I was about to keel the fuck over, but we made it. It's a beautiful fucking day and we got some crazy news today. Holy shit, it seems like the Sony empire is falling asunder. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? It looks like Jason Schreier has got kind of a couple of interviews and a little bit of stuff he's been waiting to talk about, and yeah, he blew the lid all over it. Good God, good God. Now it makes more sense why Sony has been a lot more quiet than, you know, even Xbox or Nintendo. Crazy. Alright. Hello Amid, how's it going? And Dynamite, thank you for coming in, lads. I hope you're doing. How's the kale business? Not bad. We're about to open our second store, because not because we're doing well, but because this first one burnt down. Who knew that kale was so flammable, you know? One little prick thought he could try and smoke it. It is not cannabis, it is calipus. Yes, that's my new product, kale cannabis, combining the unique, often sour taste of kale. Oh, I can't eat this stuff myself. I know I'm the CEO of the kale empire, but I can't eat it. We've mixed it with cannabis. It's beautiful. Calibus! All aboard the Calibus. Alright, let us... That's completely random. Let us begin the news today. Like I just said, holy crap, things are going apeshit over at the Sony team. My God! So, what started off as a small little piece of news from Jason Schreier is now just gone fucking mad. We were hoping that Sony Bend were going to make Days Gone 2, and I think this is probably where the news started, but then they said no. I'd heard rumors of, you know, Naughty Dog wanting to do maybe their own multiplayer with The Last of Us and stuff like that, but I don't know, like, people liked Factions a lot, but I don't think it has enough staying power to survive on its own. I think that's foolishness. It's so silly. The Naughty Dog are now hedging all their bets on Last of Us. It's crazy. So apparently Sony said no to Days Gone 2 and put Sony Bend on this multiplayer Last of Us. And they got a little bit scared. Sony Bend got scared that they were going to get absorbed into Naughty Dog. And that is just not really something that you want to happen. You don't want these studios. I just talked about this happening where studios get... It's happening right now with Sony Japan. Everybody's kind of worried. And they have good reason to be worried. Like, Sony Japan were incredible all across, like from the PS1, the PS2, PS3 era. They were putting out so many games, helping, you know, in-house studios with their games, even helping third and second party studios bring their games to PlayStation. You know, they're the reason probably The Last Guardian finally came out after 9 fucking years. But now they're pretty much gone. All of the developers are kind of getting absorbed into the other studios, and it's not the best. It's not the best, because you end up just being another cog in the machine. Instead of having your own team, your own studio, you might have your own games, you know. So yeah, you know, I can understand where Sony Bend are coming from, you know. Before Days Gone, they were definitely relegated to doing a lot of weird little kind of side games, VR stuff, a lot of that stuff. Sony Bend are most famous for the Siphon Filter name, and it's one of my favorite series. I wish they'd bring it back. So apparently after they kind of had the outs with the head ups, they said we're moving away from this Naughty Dog project and we're working on our own game. So I'm glad for that. I'm glad. Jeez, it's so bright coming through the window now. I'm turning orange. How's it going, meaty? So yeah, exactly. Rip Sony Japan. Absolute fucking disaster that is. But it looks like Sony, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. They want to focus on these big games. They've now said in no uncertain terms that they're only hedging their bets on the bigger games. The smaller games, smaller studios, they're moving away from, which is so silly because video game development is getting more and more expensive. Why the hell would you do that? Like, I don't know, so silly. I'm above the market where, you know, I think like I think AAA games and that need to kind of die the fuck down a little bit. You know, it's getting ridiculous. They've got bigger budgets now than some movies do. It's silly, and they're never quite worth it, you know. They're amazing games, but it's a game at the end of the day, you know. It's not going to change you as a person. It's not going to change the industry, you know. So, I don't know, it seems silly. It seems silly of Sony to do that, especially when we have absolutely no idea what they're working on. Besides God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Zero Dawn 2, we have no clue what is coming down the pipeline. It's almost worrying to a point, you know. We don't know anything, and it's exciting as well, but it's also worrying, especially when you see this stuff happening. So yeah, apparently they're now working on Last of Us Remake. This is a game that's only 7 years old. It already holds up. It's one of those kind of perfect little video games. It definitely changed things in the industry a little bit, you know. But they already shot themselves in the foot with the second game. So them hedging their bets on movies and TV shows and everything, it's getting a bit ridiculous. I think there's a lot of very big egos over there at Naughty Dog and Sony combined, and that's not good, because this is what happened to Xbox circa fucking, what was it, 2010, 2011. Good old days of, what was his name? Matrick, fucking idiot who hedged all his bets on Kinect and Gears and Forza and Halo, and look where that got them. But it's just weird that we know more about the future of Xbox than we do the future of Sony. But yeah, this all kind of kicked off from a Bloomberg article from Jason Schreier. He's definitely one of those guys you either hate or love him. I talked about him before. He's got a lot of you know, insights into the industry. Obviously, a lot of people talk to him and come to him. You know, lately it's been about, you know, crunch and you know, development issues, development workplace issues, things like that. So every now and then he will come out with a big piece, you know. So you might not agree with him, but if these developers are coming to him, at the end of the day, he's the one whistleblowing and breaking these stories. And that's what it feels like, whistleblowers. It's mad. I hope nothing bad comes to Sony Bend, because I think they're a great studio. I really like Days Gone. They're not making a sequel, apparently, because of its reception, which was so silly. We saw it, and this is the power of these fucking Metacritic. I think Metacritic needs to be burnt down. It's the most horrible, like, metric out there, where developers actually get bonuses on some fictitious shitty little score, you know. Imagine that. Imagine like being able to pay your mortgage, feed your kids, all on the whims of some little crappy website. Fuck that. Fuck Metacritic. Fuck it into the ground. I think it's the stupidest thing in the industry right now, and I wish we would move away from scores, numbers, all of this stuff. So when Days Gone came out, he got a 7 out of 10 from a lot of, you know, and 7 out of 10 is not a bad score, but to the average person, 7 out of 10 is average, even though that's where usually a 5 out of 10. I don't think it was average at all. I think it was awesome for a studio who had only made like third-person shooters and things like that. It was really good. It had some decent storytelling and some great voice acting, some great graphics. It actually got zombie hordes right. We haven't really seen a great zombie horde in a game in a long while. Even State of Decay's hordes are, you know, maximum of maybe 20 or 30 zombies, you know. Even the great World War Z doesn't really do it right either. But the hordes in Days Gone are actual genuine hordes. They can't even squeeze themselves out of the doors. It's the scariest shit when you see these zombie hordes coming at you, or freakers as they like to call them. So I think there's potential with Days Gone. I think the story fell apart near the end. I don't know what happened there. Probably just the usual kind of rushed. But I like the idea of you know, like, it was almost like Sons of Anarchy in the zombie apocalypse. I like it. It had potential. Especially since everybody's been craving a cool biker gang game after Lost in the Damned, which was nearly 10 years ago. Anyway, I want one. Exactly. No sequel Days Gone would be a mistake. I agree. If they're working on a new game and it is like them bringing back Siphon Filter, I'd be happy with that too. You know, I don't mind either way. I don't mind. I just think, I don't know what's going on with Sony. There's a lot of restructuring. You know, they recently got a new head of PlayStation Studios. I think he was the head up over at Guerrilla Games, I believe. It's like, is it Herman Hulsk or something? Yeah, he is now the new head up. And then a lot of the decisions are being made by Jim Ryan as well, who we know has a horrible habit of putting his foot in his mouth many times. I think we're starting to see how we miss, you know, people like Sean Layden or even Shuhei Yoshida, who's taken a horrible back seat. Like, he's only, like, to me, he's only a Twitter presence now. He used to be at every conference. He used to be such a breath of fresh air, you know. Shuhei he's a huge lover of video games, and that smile every time he would play a game just makes you want to play games. But yeah, Meaty's right about Sony Japan. I mean, we all wanted Gravity Rush 3, in terms of other games as well. It's clear that when after The Last Guardian was finished, it was clear there was a lot of unhappiness there. Maybe there was a lot of crunch. I don't know, because that ended up causing Ueda to leave and create his own studio, which is now called Gen Design, which we hope to see a new game from him in the next couple of years. But yeah, it just sucks to see them bleed in talent. It's kind of normal in a sense of teams to shrink and grow according to game development, but not when they start bleeding talent. It's happening all over the industry right now. You've got people jumping ship at Bethesda, BioWare, all the big ones, you know, because they see better deals, and with there being no game developer union, your job is just very unsecure, and it's a horrible thing to still have, especially in the midst of you know, a pandemic where you're just trying to survive. Anyway, yeah, let's see if Days Gone PC. Exactly, like there's already awesome talks of what the modern community have been doing for some of the Sony first party stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, the Gravity Rush series is completely and utterly underrated, and it's so sad. But if you go back and look, even like Sony Japan, I think, weren't they known as like what was it, SCEJ as well? Like back then you had SCEA, which was the European arm of Sony, and yeah, they're responsible for so much stuff. Hello Barney, happy Friday, dude. Just getting into some mad talks right now. Last of Us Remake started by one group. Exactly. Even Naughty Dog started as such a small team that made Crash Bandicoot. They were such a small team, and now I don't know what the hell. They are definitely, you know, Sony's baby. We knew that for a while. We've known that since probably the first Last of Us. They were untouchable, you know. They even created a separate team in Naughty Dog. It was called the Ice Team. I think they're still there. And what they do is they're the ones, you know, creating that graphical magic we see. They were even so good that they would go around to other first and second party studios of Sony, basically showing them little tricks just to get their games up to that quality. And that's why you've seen that great quality with first party studios in Sony, you know. Like, there's no doubt that they put out incredible games. Like, I don't think they've had really like a big miss yet, you know. They might not all be your cup of tea. There might be a lot of, you know, narrative games or first person shooter kind of games, but damn, there's some good games. When PlayStation HQ moved to California, you think? It sucks. It absolutely sucks. Yeah, Amy Hennig, when she left as well, that was a huge blow. And then she just, yeah, now I think she's pretty much retired now, which is sad, because she's responsible for Soul Reaver as well. That was a horrible miss there as well. But it's clear that, you know, Crystal Dynamics were never cut out to handle any kind of big game, in my opinion, you know. I'm just putting that out there. I think the Tomb Raider games are fantastic, but they're kind of team that seems to do one good game, one bad game, so it's a bad track record, you know. It's a bad now they're trying to bleed the plug the holes that is Marvel Avengers. I don't think that game is going to be around this time next year, but we'll see. It's sad to say it, like they should have had the Spider-Man out by now, the Spider-Man DLC. They're working on Black Panther. It's not going to be enough, and even Hawkeye and that was clearly not enough. They should have went in and did what they knew best. That was, you know, single player games, or make it co-op or something, you know. Outriders right now is doing decent, you know, like it's definitely not lighting up the charts. People either hate it or love it. It's clear that to me it feels like a kind of a, like, you know, third person Destiny kind of, but it's a lot more floatier. Reminds me of old Red Faction games. That's the only way I can put it. But it's way faster than, you know, some of the other games people are comparing it to. It's very close to like a Destiny. You're whizzing around the battlefield, you know. It's not like the others, you know. And it just makes me sad about Anthem as well. I know a lot of people have a lot of horrible takes and you know, reviews and stuff about Anthem, but I think there was potential, you know. If you can see what happens with No Man's Sky, anything's possible. The issue I have with it is when you throw away a year of game development. You know, they were clearly passionate enough to try and save it, but EA don't give a fuck about passion. They only care about the bottom line. Bastards! So yeah, I would have, even just, for me, just like, I know it's not enough just to be curious about it, to want to have it, you know, it has to make $100 million. Well, it's clear the fucking industry they're in a weird place right now. Everybody's trying to chase, they were chasing Fortnite, that didn't work out. Now chasing Destiny with the fucking looter shooters, that is not working out. Even Borderlands 3 couldn't keep up with its own predecessor's success with Borderlands 2, you know. It was a disaster. It's a really good, solid shooter, but it is nowhere near the highs of Borderlands 2. Not even close. And now they're trying to do the director's cut. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. And then they released Godfall, which pretty much died on release. I do want to play it though. That is a hack and slash looter shooter, whatever the fuck they call it now. Hacker looter. I am so sick of that genre. I'm so very sick of it. Because it's a games as a service, you know. They don't want to fix it now and give you the full product now. It is a 2-year minimum idea, you know. And yeah, I'm not here for that. I'm not here to support a half a game and wait 2 years later to get the full game. It's crap. It's like the Telltale way of doing things. Like, alright, you're gonna give us the $60 to $40 right now, and we'll give you the other episodes a year later, okay? It's like a weird down payment for gaming. Like, what the hell happened? This is the new version of the crap we have to deal with, the online pass and all those shitty practices. Now it's done in-game. People are still fixated on microtransactions, and they just took your attention away what they were really doing, which was breaking up the games and selling them in pieces to you. It's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Alright, so we might as well go over, this is just reported on by, let's see, was it Push Square, but we might as well go over to Jason Schreier's actual feckin' article here. Yeah, he's a funny one. I don't really agree with a lot of his takes because he spends too much time on Twitter, so he has to deal with a lot of bullshit, and it's made him quite, I don't know, he's a little bit snarky, but I mean, you gotta deal with all these people. But yeah, he's kind of going over his own article, little pieces he took from it. Basically, it's very interesting read. Please go read. It's over at Bloomberg. It's interesting to see what the hell is going on there. So it seems like Sony right now are trying to push all their talent into Naughty Dog, and I don't know. I think they're actually scrambling. I think they're a little bit worried because of the long-term reception of The Last of Us Part 2. It is a gorgeous game, one of the most beautiful games out there right now, but it is very clear that people are not happy with the story. They were not happy with it, you know. And I can see that that's the first time I think that Naughty Dog have truly had to take a good old-fashioned kick in the balls, you know. But every studio needs it from time to time, you know. Every studio needs it. Dear God. So them pushing a lot of talent to make a Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer or whatever. I don't know how I feel about that. I want to see a new IP. I am so done with Uncharted and Last of Us right now. I don't want them to go away. I'd love a Last of Us Part 3, and I'd love another Uncharted game, which is apparently coming. But we need new, fresh ideas. It is a new generation. Now is the time to experiment, you know. Now is the time to really flex those muscles. And you know, if they don't come up with something, we're already like a good few years past these kind of things. You know, you'll start to bleed talent as well. But yeah, I had talked about their possible new IP. Obviously, it's just rumors for now. You know, there's talks of a new first person game shooter coming from Naughty Dog. And it's pitched basically something similar to like Portal, except you're going through time, you know. You're going through time. It'd be really cool to get Siphon Filter back. Siphon Filter was like that show 24. It was really, really good. Super, super cool. It was all about like this team trying to take down nukes. In a world where we've got like James Bond coming back thanks to IO Interactive, and Perfect Dark is coming back, which is crazy. Joanna Dark will be coming back. So, it is time, maybe, to bring back some great ideas. Because enough time has passed since Siphon Filter. I still have Siphon Filter down there from the PS1 days, you know. Enough time has passed. And yeah, they're a little bit harder to play now, for sure. Back then, wasn't proper fucking cover or anything, you know. Yeah, but we'll see, you know. These are all very talented studios. I wouldn't be jumping off buildings just yet. I think the Sony Japan stuff worried me more than what's going on over at Naughty Dog. You know, it's nothing too. I think it's just a mismanagement right now. You know, there's a lot of egos. Naughty Dog started to slip for me. You were saying about Amy Hennig, definitely. But when Bruce left as well, I felt like it was clear that two egos couldn't fit in the same studio. Yeah. We know the big ego there right now is clearly Neil Druckmann, you know. Is he a problem right now? Probably not. Like he's still kind of a visionary, but I don't know. We'll see. You gotta understand a creative director role it's there is a certain amount of ego involved because you're trying to show a team of 200-300 people your vision. So of course you have to be passionate in it. Of course you have to be confident in it. And yeah, that does come with a certain level of an ego. I say the same about Hideo Kojima. I really do think this man is like the rock star of video game development. And of course that comes with some ego. Some ego is not always a bad thing, you know. It just, you gotta keep it in check. You gotta keep it in check. Boop. Because I do appreciate, I do call these visionaries. Maybe that's a bit much, but they really do have these incredible ideas, and they have the power and the talent, all of their teams, to make them reality. And to me, that comes off as a visionary in game development, you know. It is a certain level of art, you know. People might not see it as that, especially the outsiders who have never played a game besides Angry Birds on their phone. But I understand that. That's fine. We're still a very young medium. Don't worry, you know. We don't need to be taken seriously by these as long as we're enjoying what we do. I'll tell you one thing. It's always the most unexpected thing that ends up bringing gaming into the, you know, the mainstream. And with the pandemic, it was Animal Crossing. You couldn't piss without a celebrity playing Animal Crossing. Honest to God. Honest to God. I was like, who the fuck are you? Who are you? Let me see if I can find, I had some names for it as well. Let me show you if I can find the name for the Naughty Dog game. I read an interesting, it's called Stray's Cross. There we go. There we go. I read an interesting article recently where people talked about wanting a Last of Us Part 3 and you only play as Abby. And I clearly got off the bus at the wrong time. I don't think Last of Us Part 2 was a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I just recently finished Nier Automata, right? And right at the end there, they switched up the protagonists within a 5-minute period. It was crazy, but at the start of that, you played nearly for an hour or two of each protagonist. And I felt that was an amazing way to do it. It kept me in the loop on both sides. I never got bored of either of their stories. It was a genius way of doing it. Now, why in the name of fuck didn't Naughty Dog play Nier Automata the whole way through and see what they could have done? Instead of giving us, you know, 10 to 12 hours of Ellie, and then we're stuck with Abby when clearly no one wanted to play as her because of what she just committed, you know? It seemed foolish to me. It seemed like we had no choice in the matter. We were handcuffed to this character for 8 hours or however long it took you to play her part, and it seemed foolishness. It was almost as if they just wanted to use Laura Bailey's incredible acting, you know. And here's the thing: there was potential to turn her around, but I think they could have done it as a gradual thing, you know. Play an hour of Abby, back to a couple of hours of Ellie, then back again, you know. Just, yeah, I was not digging that. I was not digging that at all. But clearly I must have been maybe only the one of the people, or a small group of people who feel that way. But yeah, if this Stray's Cross leak turns out to be right and it's a real new IP, I'm down for it. Seems to be more like I said, first person shooter fantasy kind of thing. A lot of crazy ass portal jumping. Yeah, a lot of people are comparing it already to things like BioShock Infinite, but I don't know. Alright, seems like Sony wants their exclusives to come from the US. Yeah, it does. The issue with that media is because the PS5 and PS4 is not selling in Japan anymore. Japan is now mobile first, then Switch. Switch is still selling like hotcakes over there. And then it's like fucking Sony's probably like, you know, third, fourth, who knows? Who knows? So they're seeing a very diminishing console market over there. So what do? You know, it's not as if you're going to just say fuck it. But a lot of the third-party developers already come exclusive to PlayStation, you know, like Persona, a lot of Sega stuff. So you don't necessarily have to try as hard, I suppose. But I'm with you there. Like it's just more talent that's disappearing. Sucks. Hello DPG, how's it going, man? Happy Friday. No, they didn't remake it. That's called a remaster. It's different. A remaster is just they up the res and up the frame rate and slap a new sticker on it. That's a different. Remaster is completely different. That's what people get confused with. The remake, if this goes ahead, what they're trying to do is have it coincide with the TV show. Now, does that mean that they're going to change the models of Joel and Ellie? Probably. If they do that, there's going to be fucking war. But obviously, they want to bring it up to the graphical fidelity of The Last of Us Part 2. And I like that idea. But I still think it's an amazing game, and I don't know. We'll see. There was talks of Rockstar doing the same with Red Dead Redemption 1. They wanted to bring it up, do a little remake of it, and bring it up to the same fidelity as Red Dead Redemption 2. Have them in a lovely package for PS5. And we'll see if that's another big rumor that's going on. We'll see about that. According to Avengers Reddit, the latest patch makes PS4 unplayable. Oh, for God's sake. I'm all for new installments in Uncharted series, but not at the expense. No, I hear you, absolutely. See, you don't mind if there's like separate teams doing it, right? Naughty Dog are big enough and talented enough as a huge studio that they could easily be working on multiple games. I think everybody agrees that Uncharted Lost Legacy was awesome. It was a great little slice, a different story. I think we've talked about this and made in a couple of others of wanting a Sam game, a Sam and Sully game, a Sam and someone else. You know, I know that might be a little bit too tongue-in-cheek, but god damn it. If they plan to do another Uncharted, it's clear that they're pushing for a soft reboot with somebody, I don't want to spoil too much, but somebody else in the driving seat. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think it's too early for a full remake of Last of Us. It almost, when you look at it on the surface, it looks like they ran out of ideas. But clearly there's more going on there, you know, with that leak of a possible new IP. And the other rumor about the multiplayer, the factions for Last of Us Part 2, they've talked about maybe doing some story for it, like almost like DLC for The Last of Us Part 2. That could be cool. I mean, it's clear that them doing standalone multiplayer is not going to be enough. I know there's a rabid fan base for factions, and it's a really cool multiplayer experience, absolutely. But none of those games stand on their own. I mean, look at these games right now that are just clawing for any kind of relevance. They get it for about a week and then they're gone. Whether it's Avengers and Outriders and that. I don't know. And recently they just reported Epic were doing I think it was some court case or another. They're always in some kind of hot water. But they talked about how the Epic Game Store is actually bleeding money. But they're okay with that. They expect it. But over the last 3 years, they've said that the Epic Game Store has lost over $400 million. But luckily, thanks to, you know, mothers and fathers with credit cards and the V-Bucks are still bringing in billions of dollars. So it doesn't, it's not even, they don't even care. They don't even care. Yeah, so I'm not ready to say goodbye to Uncharted, but I think they're more than that, you know. They are more. I would like to see Naughty Dog do a cheeky little fun experience. I think all these teams are bursting with creative ideas that they could easily do what you could consider like an indie style game, but obviously they're first party, so it's not indie. But you know what I mean? The concept of what an indie game looks like. A cute little game like that. I think they could all do that, because these are the studios that started with Crash Bandicoot, that started with Spyro, you know? Of course, they're owned by Activision now, but it doesn't mean that kind of fun isn't there. Like, Insomniac are a great studio that showed that they can do a serious game and a fun game all at the same time. Like, Ratchet & Clank is back with a bang, right? And Sunset Overdrive, one of the most fun gaming experiences, you know, just purely from a gameplay. The story might be whatever, but a gameplay, like, holy hell. And that's like $5 on PC right now. I'd love to see them bring back. That would be a kind of a Sony move, especially with what happened with MLB The Show coming to the Game Pass on Xbox. Sony getting Sunset Overdrive 2 and making it an exclusive would be a direct, like, fucking middle finger to Xbox. And I could see them doing it. I don't care as long as I get to play these games. I couldn't care less. They can have their pissing contest all they want, as long as I get to play them. Sometimes some games are fueled by that kind of competition, and they get made because of these things. And Days Gone was a really cool, brand new IP. I think it has so much potential. The only thing the issue I had with that game was it got a little samey in terms of the environment, because you're stuck up there in the northwest, you know, up there like in Seattle. But it was fantastic, so much mud and forestry. It was really, really good. It actually got some things better. It might not look as good as Last of Us Part 2, but it got certain things right that Last of Us Part 2 did not, in my opinion. Because I think The Last of Us is an incredible game. It's a crowning achievement, but its gameplay is nothing to write home about. It's just another third-person shooter. I mean, the only thing it does different to Uncharted at the time was the shivs and that, you know, and the clickers were brilliant. But then Uncharted 4 came along with the grappling hook, not reinvented all that again. But then Last of Us Part 2 came out, didn't reinvent a damn thing, didn't change much at all with the combat, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I don't know, it's funny. I think, you know, the Last of Us games are definitely story first. But then when you fuck it up a little bit in the second one, then what have you got to fall back on? Then people start to pick the whole game apart. It's wild. I know I'd be talking about this today. This all just kind of exploded today. It's crazy. Everyone's reporting on it. But I might as well go to the horse's head, the head of the dragon who started all this. Alright, cool. So here's another next piece of news. We'll kind of move on a little bit from that. I had talked about this happening, and it looks like it might just very well be happening. The PlayStation is working on a counterpunch to Xbox Game Pass. Now, they have PS Now. We've known this for a while, obviously. And them changing their pricing module for $1 for 1 month to try and match Xbox Game Pass is a clear indicator that they're planning on really pushing this, and I hope they do. It seems like a no-brainer. Use your existing service that, fair enough, not a lot of people know about it, but I'm telling you, it's a really good service. I've tried it. This is VGC reporting on this. Apparently, David Jaffe, who we were just talking about, he is the original creator of God of War, Twisted Metal. He's a good dude. He no longer works at Sony. He's doing his own thing. And he's definitely had a few choice words for Sony as well. But I like that. Someone who's been on the inside. He definitely gives some takes. He's a guy who doesn't hold back. So I got some respect for him, for sure. But yeah, I'd love to see what they could do. Hell yes. So it seems, I didn't know this. The last reported numbers for Game Pass was 15 million to me. But apparently it's now over 18 million. So it's clearly growing at a very steady rate. Things like MLB The Show, getting Bethesda games on there, Obsidian cranking out games. You know, it's impressive. It is clearly losing them money though, but in the long run, if they can get up to those Game Pass numbers, up to the games with gold numbers, which I've talked about, you know, that's 65 million, even 50 million. If they get up to those numbers, it will start to make incredible profits. You know, you'll start getting into Netflix numbers if you were lucky. But we'll see. Here's the thing, like the Game Pass has a lot of games. A whole lot of games, thousands of hours worth of games, but it's not even a scratch on what PS Now has. PS Now has over like 600 games, and nobody's using the service. So clearly they've fucked up somewhere, you know, whether it's the messaging, the pricing, I don't care what it is, but and you know, showering ads on your PS5 and PS4 dashboard is not the kind of marketing that people want. That's forceful nonsense, and it only ends up making people you know, hate the service. I think it needs a rebranding, it needs a relaunch, the whole shebang. Make it as close, like I think the Game Pass, you either get on board right now and get a model that competes with it, or you're gonna lose out big style. This is what happened. I mean, you might love or hate the Game Pass, that's fine. It's a thing now, it is a thing. It's changing the face of digital gaming, for sure. How's it going, White Wolf? Happy Friday, dude! Why would you want an Xbox when you get a very powerful PC? Exactly, dude, exactly. Now, unfortunately with that, they are being really weird, Microsoft being Microsoft, where you don't exactly get the same games on the Xbox Game Pass as you do the PC Game Pass. I wish they can get that together. I don't know if it's a developer thing where they're like, hey, we can only make it at the PC version. We can't make 2 versions of the game. We have 6 people working here, you know? So it might be that. It could be regional thing. I don't know. But they need to get on top of that, because this thing, even right now, you see them launching and announcing new games with Game Pass, and it'll have like PC and cloud, PC and console, and you're already getting into this kind of confusing state where you're like, where the fuck can I play this game? So they need to, what I would do is just hold off, you know? They don't always have to. If the team needs more time to get it on all 3 and launch it like as a unification thing, then do it. There was talks of that universal media thing they wanted to do, whereas basically you launch it on one and you launch it on all. But that never happened. That was a disaster. Fucking Microsoft. They are the home of the half-baked ideas for sure. Game Pass, they've clearly latched onto this. This is their first really good idea in about fucking 10 years. So, so of course they're gonna latch onto it. Yeah, unfortunately, it is gonna have the Netflix effect where, you know, it's both good and bad for the industry. It's already changed my perspective on what way I want to play and basically the price of a video game. You know, like I'm definitely gonna look at a game coming in. It's Game Pass before I buy it on another separate platform, which is wild. Absolutely wild. Having a beer from Japan. Well, cheers. Cheers to you. Hell yes. I know there's a lot of good Game Pass fans, and I know there's people not a big fan of that either. I definitely urge any of you PlayStation fans out there to give PS Now a try. I think in the US right now, you can get a month for $1. I don't know if that is still there, but you can also buy a year for pretty cheap. I know it's a little bit tough of a pill to swallow when you're already paying for PS Plus. Well, see, that is where PlayStation needs to unify that exactly like the game. See, ask anybody who has the Game Pass. 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you that it's not the Game Pass to have. It's Xbox Live Ultimate that has the whole thing together. It's very clever. I'm still waiting for the penny to drop. Microsoft are still a business that want to make money, and you can only keep this kind of unsustainable model going for a while. You know, it is bleeding money. I wonder what they're. I wonder, do they have like a couple of years, or is there a number that they want to get to? I'm not too sure. Or are they allowed just to go for it until it's profitable? I don't know. So you'd want something, as stupid as the name it is, but you'd want something like PlayStation Ultimate, where you get the PS Plus, you get the PS Now, you get Spotify or Crunchyroll or whatever they got over there. You know, it's a lot to ask for. But you can tell by them giving away a month for $1 or 3 months for $3 that they are wholly relying on people staying on the service, forgetting to turn off auto renewals so they can get billions of dollars from that, which is a real thing. If I showed you the figures that Netflix have and Amazon have for people who just forget to turn off auto renew, you have no idea. There are billions of dollars. It's like a giant vacuum into people's bank accounts. $7 here, $8 there, boom, 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 boom. Over 300 million people on a service. It is insane. Insane money. Billions of dollars every month. Jesus, PS Now is great. Yeah, I like it too. I think it does need a relaunch, and it needs a little bit of restructuring too, where you don't stream the old games, you know? I don't like that. Any reliance on a internet connection is bad. I know we're already doing that when it comes to any old game at all, and most of us are just wired up, good to go. But we like to have it in the background, not thinking about it. You know, always online is rubbish. It's rubbish, and it's not where we want to go with things. Anyway, pay for the yearly PS Plus because it works out to you. Of course. And if you're really good, you can even get like a year of PS Plus for $40, even less. You're all sneaky. And the same goes for PS Now. You can get a year of PS Now for next to nothing. A lot of people were doing a really cheeky offer over with the Game Pass, where you can convert your existing gold to Game Pass Ultimate, which is, you know, 3 times the benefit, for next to nothing. And they still allow you to do that. So people were buying cheap ass gold. They were getting like 3 years of it for like $100 or something like that. And then they would convert it to gold for nothing. So they were getting 3 years of, converted to Xbox Pass Ultimate for nothing. So you get 3 years of Xbox Pass Game Pass Ultimate for $100 when it's usually like, say, $15 a month, you know? So unbelievable savings. So you ask a lot of those kind of people and they'll say, oh, I'm tied up with the Xbox Game Pass till 2023. You're like, good God. Have a spring sale at the moment up to 75. Yeah, the sales have been great. They have been great. Thank God that everybody's kind of getting on board with that. You know, Steam would definitely be the ones that were the forefront for that. You know, they used to do quarterly sales. What's that? Oh, hello, Scott. How's it going, dude? Scooty booty. Happy Friday, man. Thank you for that sub. 11 months. Oh my God, it's almost our anniversary. Oh God. I didn't get you anything yet. Hold on, I'll think of it. I could get you RGB titty tassels. That's right. They spin on their own as well. How's your Friday going, man? I hope you're all set for the weekend. I've been dying for this one. I don't know. This week cut me in two, like on Tuesday, and I have just been, you know, a corpse a shuffling corpse for the rest of the week. We've been talking about some crazy news today. Basically, Jason Schreier done lifted up the lid on what's going on over at Sony, and unfortunately, we all hope that, yeah, they're secretly all working on great games, but it seems that a mass amount of restructuring is happening, and a lot of foolish choices is happening too, but we'll see. I still have utmost confidence in Sony, but yeah, we do not want them to go the ways that Xbox did, 10 years ago. And pretty much Titanic the fuck out of their own console. Let's do it! Alright, let's see. That's IGN reporting on The Last of Us Remake and that. On to the next piece of news. I don't want to dwell too much on it because I'll just start going around in circles. I've been talking a good bit about Blasphemous and how they've got... it's a great game. Please go play it. It's out on everything, Switch, everything. They've got a new deluxe edition coming, and they've also got a documentary coming called Landing Blasphemous. It's a small team, a Spanish developer, and it's just, trying to launch an indie game. And it's pretty impressive. It is a unique Metroidvania for sure. Hard as balls, a huge kind of religious medieval vibe to it, medieval fantasy. Some of the most glorious pixel art you'll ever see. Good for them. Good for them. They've even managed to do a awesome collaboration with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So you got a little bit of Miriam in there as well, if you like that. But I wish the best for these guys. I really hope that they can work on many, many new projects after this. I feel like some indie devs, they tend to dwell a little bit on their game. And it's normal to have, DLC and support up to a year or two. But anything beyond that gets a little bit worrisome for me. It's like, are they not getting the funding for the next game? What's going on? I look at Dying Light. They supported that game for 5 years, and it's clear there was something wrong, and now here we are in an awkward kind of limbo for Dying Light 2. Still got a 2021 release date, but who knows what that means anymore. No game is exempt from delays this year for sure. I think we can cut them all a bit of slack with COVID and that, but still, I know they're all dying to show and flex their creative muscles. They've all been working very hard, and we appreciate that. One really, constant in all this bullshit, all this lockdown and pandemic has been video games. And I'm eternally grateful to every single developer for allowing us to keep playing games. Got myself a new Blue Yeti. Very nice, very nice. And a 4K camera. Ooh, very nice. Happy anniversary. Very nice, very nice. I love it. There's nothing better than getting new tech, especially if you're investing it in the channel, in yourself. I love that. It feels good, I'm still using an old Snowball on a Rock Soy arm. I like it. I like this desk. I like it. It's a homemade desk, and I like it. I made it my own specs. It's long, fucking long, boy. I wanted to be able to fit the consoles on it and 3 monitors. It's perfect. Anyway, so that's another nice piece of news from the Blasphemous devs. The Game Kitchen, awesome people. I will when I find a great game and a great developer to boot, I will follow them and I keep an eye on their games and support them as much as I can. For the length of their studio's life. I even keep an eye on Gears for Breakfast, who made Hat in Time a long time ago, and now we're just finally getting the co-op DLC on console, which is great. Alright, on to the next little piece of news. We have this brand new game that I have been talking about a good bit. It is a cheeky little zombie survival game, post-apocalypse of course, called The Day Before. Looks really cool. Definitely little kind of feeling of The Last of Us. And there's a brand new gameplay trailer out as well. So, some upcoming games like Atomic Heart and games like that, and Ill, as Dynamite has talked about as well. These kind of games are usually far off, 2, maybe 1 to 2 years, 3 years maybe. But I still can't help myself. I'll always build up the hype on that. Let me get a little volume on this.
Continuous stream of information and news.
Alright. It even copied the font, so unfortunately they'll probably have to change that. We'll see. But this was good. I think it's only got PC release on it for now. I'm still here waiting for like a State of Decay 3 that will give us what we always wanted, which was basically the same kind of awesome State of Decay gameplay, but give us the MMO. Give us that MMO. Every NPC be controlled by an actual human. I love when games do this kind of stuff. You know, it's really impressive for a technical standpoint, but as a gameplay standpoint, who the fuck wants to get their Jeep stuck in a mud? You know? Hell no! Yeah, Atomic Heart is another huge one I'm excited for. It's basically like Russian Bioshock. Fucking amazing. This is fuel and everything, so you can tell that there's a nice little chunk of survival to this, but it's clearly a single player game. I'm getting we're just talking about it. I'm getting mad Days Gone vibes. Dunk. I've been going for, my god, almost an hour. Jeez, just goes to show when a topic blows up like that or big news happens, you gotta get into it. You gotta get into it. I really like the mud in Days Gone as well. Some people kind of were iffy on the driving of Days Gone. I think it felt really good. As someone who's played a lot of motorbike games over the years, Road Rash and all that, it had a very, very satisfying weight to it. That's important. You know, you weren't driving around on little dirt bikes, little BMX bikes. This is not a Sanchez. It's a big old chopper. Big old hog. Let's see. We're not going to watch all this. It's like fucking 13 minutes long. Let's get into the bread and butter of it. So yeah, I don't know. It's funny with Naughty Dog. I would have been half expecting them. This would be their moment, you know, to show off. Like, let's see. So when Uncharted 4 came out, PlayStation was already out, what, 2-3 years? Okay, well that's probably when they'd go for that. Oh, you dirty bastard! Fuck the po-po. Uncharted 4 got a lot of delays as well, though, but that was definitely their big PS4 piece, obviously until, you know, Last of Us Part 2 came. But, you know, these games take a long while. But Amid made a very, very good point there, where you don't want them to push all this talent into these games at the sacrifice of other possible games. And I don't want them to do that, you know? Especially with Naughty Dog. I don't want Sony to just focus on their games just because they're their #1 baby, you know? You start playing favorites with your game studios, and you're gonna get a lot of pissed off developers, a lot of low morale, you know? Why am I even doing this when they're just gonna give this all away to their baby, their Naughty Dog? But you know, you gotta be careful. It's called a family of studios for something, you know, for a good reason. I like post-apocalyptic games that end at a weird time. Like, look at this one's clearly Christmas. I like that. Like Last of Us as well. Even in Last of Us Part 2, it's so far removed from the first game, but you can clearly still see like what are called, jack-o'-lanterns and stuff and pumpkins out and about, because it all went down like in October. Yo, how's it going, Dutch? Hello, happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. We're just checking out this new game, The Day Before, it's called. Cool little post-apocalyptic zombie survival game. I think it's single player. It's a little while off. This one, so far, most people have just commented how the logo looks like The Last of Us. It's probably the same font as well. But a logo a game does not make. I hope you're well, man. A lot of crazy news coming out about Sony and Naughty Dog right now. Well, it's not even really, yeah, it's just Sony, but unfortunately Naughty Dog are like the first thing everybody brings up. Told you, playing favorites. The biggest hit about all this is freaking Sony Japan. I feel like people are not paying enough attention to that one. You hear a little article here and there, but that's something that has far-reaching implications. Yeah, want to hear about Philip and DMX? Philip? Oh, that Prince guy who looks like a vampire? Yeah, man, I think he might have been dead for a while already. Yeah, I think he might have been dead for a while. Well, yeah, DMX is... Yeah, this... I'm sorry, but that's what it looked like. I swear to God. They were feeding him like the blood of the innocents or something, keeping him alive. Good God. But yeah, I'm sad about DMX, man. That was horrible. That's just crappy news. And it sounded like he probably fucking suffered right till the end. He wasn't even that old, right? He was in his 50s. Age 50. He was only 50. Man, that's a half-life right there. That sucks. It was a heart attack, right? God damn. Catastrophic as well. They had him on life support for a good while. But it looked like there was no sign of any brain function or anything. So it was just a matter of time. Poor bastard. It's a horrible way to go out. There you go. Some people can live through like 5, 6 fucking minor heart attacks. No joke. People can live through strokes. But it just takes that big one. Like a bomb going off in your heart. Rest in peace, DMX. Rest in peace. 50 years old. Yeah. On a better note, new human mission to the ISS was a success. Currently 11 people on board. Very nice, very nice. How many people can the ISS hold total? It's quite, like, it's big in terms of anything else we have up there. But it's quite small when you see it from the inside, you know? Or 10, okay. What do you think? It's 10 at the minute. Alright, that's probably like the highest we've ever had up there, is it? It's only meant to house 6. Oh my god. Damn, people are going to be sleeping in their pods. The escape pods and everything. Yeah, but maybe, usually when that happens, and they bring that amount of people up there, and that, usually it means some others, like, it's almost like they're passing the baton, you know, others will come back down. That's really cool, Dutch. I love talking about space with you and other stuff as well. You always bring great conversations, man. I appreciate that. Ooh, nice little foggy road. You know what I'd love? I'd love a Sleepy Hollow game. Let's do it. Should bring Headless Horseman into Dead by Daylight, but yeah, who knows? I'd rather do K-pop shit. Good lord. The fuck's that got to do with killer in the video game? Bam. Maybe it is a tongue-in-cheek joke at the fucked up relationship stans have with K-pop stars right now. Who knows? Could they be that meta? Probably not. I'd say there's a good few K-pop stars out there who want to kill their stans before they kill them. Good lord. Anyway, what am I talking about? Michael Hopkins from Crew 1 mission sleeps in the dragon. I was thinking that. It's not a big deal at the end of the day. Like, I've seen some of the old Russian modules when they're going up into space, and honest to God, you've got like the instruments are right in front of your face like that. At the end of the day, the smaller it is, probably better, you know, less can go wrong. It's definitely giving me State of Decay vibes, but it's pretty good. This is the day before. So far, I think it just has, coming soon. Just has a PC release date. But definitely did want to change that logo pretty lively. Alright, on to the next piece of news. If you're worried about Resident Evil 8 spoilers, now is the time to look away. IGN have their IGN First, which is basically they pick a game each month and gradually release a lot more information and gameplay and previews over the course of that month. And they just released the map for Resident Evil 8, and it looks chunky. They're definitely going for Resident Evil 4 vibes. There's going to be a lot of comparisons drawn for sure. We know that Capcom are going to be doing another little expose about Resident Evil 8, and hopefully some more stuff, because it is the 25th anniversary of the original Resident Evil. I would love to see them even, you know, just as a quick little collection, nothing too fancy. Bring back the old classics and put them on all the consoles. Because right now it's kind of pick a mix. A lot of the remakes are there, but it's very all over the place. It doesn't help that Resident Evil Revelations 2, I think, started as an episodic game, ridiculous as that sounds. But now I think it's mostly together. Apparently this game, Resident Evil Village, as it stands, was meant to be Revelations 3. And they were so impressed with it. Clearly, you can see big booty, 9-foot tall vampire lady gonna sit in your face. Hell yeah, that they repurposed it as Resident Evil 8. So we'll see, like, if little nods here and there might happen. I don't know. We'll see. I think I've liked the Revelation series. It's a nice little side series, and to me, it captures that old school Resident Evil vibe. You know, the first one was a 3DS game, and super impressive to still have that third-person shooter on a 3DS with the 3D effects. I really liked it. It was on a boat, very different. Good old Jill back, skin tight suit. Good lord! And they brought it to all the rest of the consoles. Great game. Play it. Revelations 2 is interesting. It's closer to something like Silent Hill for me. You play as an older Claire Redfield, but they can't quite escape this whole idea of escort missions and all that. Cracks me up. So we'll see. We might still get a Revelations 3. I don't know. Capcom are definitely doing very well right now. They haven't put a foot wrong yet, but I'm still very much in the camp that remembers the fall of Capcom for a bit. But I'm glad to see it. A big part of that success, of course, is the RE engine, their very own in-house, brand new engine. They started things off with Resident Evil 7 on that one, and it's pretty much been in every single one of their games. It's a versatile, beautiful engine, very lifelike. We've had things like Devil May Cry 5 on it. Both of the remakes, the RE2 and RE3 remakes on it. Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, both on the RE engine, and now Resident Evil 8. So it's a very impressive engine. It's able to dial up. I'm very happy with that. I could see huge potential with that engine if they were to license it out like Epic has done with the Unreal Engine. We'll see. I'm excited for Capcom's future. I would well believe that a Dino Crisis remake is coming. They just need to be very, very careful right now, you know, because we've seen what happens when they get a little bit too big for the boots and they keep shoveling out games. Right now, the only thing I think where their weakness lies is maybe in rushing the games a little bit, and their need to try and harvest up that multiplayer audience, you know. We had Resident Evil Resistance, which I enjoyed, even as a Dead by Daylight clone, 4v1. And now we're going to have Resident Evil Reverse, which seems to be more straight up multiplayer, COD Zombies vibe. I don't know. We'll see. I have yet to play it because they took it down like 4 hours after it was launched. And I'm like, okay. Okay. But yeah, there's a little cheeky look at the map right now. Not too spoilery. I like it. It's weirdly kind of reminds me of something like, you know, an RPG with like Skyrim and things like that. I like it. Hell yeah. The rumor is that another demo is coming for it, which I think would be silly. Unless they put the maiden demo on PS4. But there's such a little amount to that maiden demo. It is what it is. I'm just worried that at this point I already know most of the story. Seen about 10% of the game. Yeah. It's my own fault. Of course I could just go dark on it, but it's hard to miss it. It's hard to miss it, especially when you got that big old booty in your face. Good lord. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I don't want to say any more. I show off the map. If you want to read that yourself, you can. They talk about some of the other witches of the Coven, but hell no, I'm not reading anymore. I might even watch the new trailer when it happens. Good lord. Alright, on to the next piece of news. Eurogamer are reporting on Second Sight being brought back. I love seeing these games. I just talked to Manhunt coming back, and even Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver being removed from Steam for very important updates has me chomping at the bit for a remastered trilogy of Soul Reaver or a whole collection of Legacy of Kain. Please! The Second Sight was one of those awesome little games back in the day that I think kind of a lot of people slept on because I think, you know, people were just so stuck in all these third-person shooters and that. It reminds me of the old Suffering games. I know people played those on the PS2. Suffering, Ties That Bind. They were really good games. Really fucked up. I felt like we got away with so much more back then. Psyops was another favorite of mine. Psyops Conspiracy. I think it was one of the first games that really fucked with telekinesis and that, and I really enjoyed that one. A lot of great games. We've missed out on the, I suppose you could call them the AA audience. You know, the AA game devs are kind of disappeared. It's now indie or AAA. The US isn't going to do any more upgrades. Oh, that kind of sucks. I thought they'd build off of, you know. I suppose it's nearly time, at this point, nearly to create a new space station. What do you think? The ISS is very old, and it oh Jesus, those eyes. It's yeah, the ISS is definitely old, and it's always been this kind of amalgamation of everything, just like a Frankenstein space station. Imagine how hard it is, but it's cool to see that back. I want to be careful of copyright. It's nice. THQ Nordic, I swear to God, these guys are unreal. They've bought up every single IP they can get their hands on. Good for them. Look, Hoover. They got the rights hovering back. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's the only right way of saying it. Hoover. They've been hoovering up all the IPs. Any Sonic fans out there? We talked about there possibly being a brand new Sonic game, but over here on Twitter, we've got a Twitter account who have found out a German dubbing studio have listed Sonic Colors Remastered. That'd be really nice. I still think we need a new Sonic game, but Sonic Colors has long been that little cheeky 3D Sonic game that got lost to time. It was only released on the Wii, and I think it was the DS as well. It was one of those games just got lost, and I hear nothing but good things about it. Now, is that because it's just people who played it, and a lot of, you know, Wii fans were casual kind of gamers, you know, probably don't even play Sonic anymore? But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if this amounts to anything. That might all just be people blowing smoke up everybody's ass, because the Sonic fan base is quite rabid. I say bring back Were Sonic. That shit was awesome. I know people don't like it, but Sonic Unleashed is so fucking random. Werehog. Werehog! Alright, on to the next piece of news. Also, take this with a massive truckload of salt, please. It's some Elden Ring news. Very much. This is all from 4chan. You know how 4chan be. It is a circle jerk where they're jerking each other off. Bunch of jerks. But no, it is a pretty cancerous website, of course. But sometimes this is where leaks come to reveal themselves. Yes. Sonic Colors shows a blank screen. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, no, that listing he has there, you're dead right, you're dead right. I should show some kind of trailer. That listing is from one of those kind of websites that it's like when you go to LinkedIn or something. It's pretty basic, you know. But it's the fact that it's there. This is when people find listings like that. That's what they look like. Unfortunately, admit it's not really that exciting to look at, but it's inkling of good news. Let me just pull up a trailer for you, man. No, you're dead right. You are fucking dead right. Boop. I think Sonic Colors might have been the last Sonic game before they really fucked up and jumped the shark. Alright, here we go. So, you're dead right. I should be quicker on the ball. Sega! Yeah, it got trapped on the Wii and the 3DS. Obviously don't expect, you know, fucking the next best thing to happen to Sonic or something. Oh my God, DMCA's coming for my ass right now. I'm getting out of here, motherfuckers. Oh, geez, God. Not better than fucking screwing your ass raw than Sega and their DMCA. Sorry. Good Sonic music. I'm sorry. Yeah, Sonic Colors. Look at this crazy shit. I think you could still play it on the Wii U as well. Sorry, that was a horrible segue there. But it's true. That's how bad things have got. And I know there's a lot of people who want to play this, including my nephew, who's a massive Sonic fan. I've been, you know, the nice uncle and managed to get him as many Sonic games as I get my hands on, especially the old ones, you know, to play. And this is one that he's been dying for. I'm like, I'm not going to get your fucking Wii to play this one. Ugh. So this might be a nice way of doing it. Hell yes. So yeah, I know, yeah, there's talks of a new Sonic game coming, but who knows anymore. I don't think even Sonic fans know what they want, and that's the big issue. When you've got this kind of community who, they didn't buy Sonic Mania enough, you know? And that was them really trying to go back, and everybody who's played Sonic Mania thinks it's awesome. But it's clear that you've got a mix of new Sonic fans and old Sonic fans. It's fucking 12-year-old now. So yeah, how can someone as Sega try and appease that? They even tried like Sonic Generations, where you had 3D Sonic and 2D Sonic. Nobody fucking bought that one either. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, cool. That's Sonic Colors. Let's see. So weird seeing the U in colors being a European. I'm a pee all over that. Anyway, back to Elden Ring. So take this with a grain of salt. But it sounds cool. It's from 4chan. I already talked about the gameplay leak. I didn't show it, the gameplay leak. I don't want to show it for straight up fear of being smited by the mighty From Software. Apparently the gameplay trailer leaked, and they got so irate. Miyazaki was like, no, we're not actually going to do our reveal, which was meant to be back in March. They pulled out of that. They said no. So maybe E3, I don't know. We'll see. They're still heavily in bed with Xbox right now in terms of marketing. Just it is the way it is. Sony see it as a clever relationship where people know they're going to play it on PS4. So why pay hundreds of millions of dollars for marketing when you're getting free sales, you know? So it works out. Even showing it off on a big stage like Xbox actually works in Sony's favor. I know that sounds crazy. You know, the average console warrior, it's a pissing contest. It's like, that's art, that's Bloodborne, blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't matter as long as they're still making games. There's no exclusive bullshit, and that's the most important part. But, yeah, I have seen the gameplay. Looks really cool. If this rumor is to be believed, I'm very, very happy. But yeah, if you don't want any spoilers, now is the time. So they've talked about Kingdoms having its own weather system, like snow, day and night cycle. All that stuff is really cool. The idea is they're going back to medieval fantasy like the Dark Souls series, but this is purely, hugely open world, like massively open world. The gameplay trailer focused heavily on horse combat, which was cool, and we obviously saw some dragons. I want to believe the gameplay demo was real because it looked like a From Software game. It looked like Dark Souls 3 or the next iteration of it. So yeah, let's see. So multiple realms, very interesting, similar to Light Dark World of Zelda. I like that. I like that idea. That could be cool. It would kind of make sense. You've definitely gone into some weird places in the Dark Souls series, you know, when you don't know what fucking realm you're in at all, you know. Especially it might actually start to explain the idea of like fog walls and all that. I like it. I think they need to go back to the mysterious vibe that Dark Souls 1 had. I think it lost a good bit of it over the course of the other games, but Dark Souls 1 had just so much weirdness and awesomeness. Like the world serpents and Framped, and it's just weird stuff, and I like weird. Weird is good. Let's see, create your own resting place, which you can teleport to. That seems interesting. I mean, that would be a new evolution on bonfires. It might take out the difficulty, though. We'll see about that. The gods are the creatures that came from the other realm, to the human realm, from the Elden Ring and Shattered. It's clear from that first little piece we got, that little trailer, that you know, they talked about this guy hammering on the Elden Ring and that. There's a lot of talks of huge gods that we might be even fighting the gods themselves. Humans want to ascend the same way to experiment with the vanquished creatures that reside in the other realm. The realm! Rulers of the kingdom want to use that new power. Yeah, long ago there was a rumor that every time you would come to these new kingdoms and defeat the big bosses there, you would absorb their power and get these new kind of powers. I don't know what that's going to be about, whether it's like pertaining to magic or combat arts. I don't know. Fuck. Yes, let's see. You can open new paths in the realm. Some rulers are a spokesperson of ancient gods. Kingdom tendency. I like that. It changes that's going back to Demon Souls as well. I like that a lot. Alright, on the gameplay side, you can swim, dive, multiple types of dodges, crouch, hide, and yeah, hunt. I like the idea of hunting. That's interesting. That means that, you know, out of the normal enemies that we fight, there may be a lot of cool little wildlife. I'm down for that. I'm kind of getting Monster Hunter vibes now, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I want a more livable, breathable world. Like, all of their games have had a certain level of desolation, and it works for that, but they are semi-open world games, you know. They're far from linear, but you're still progressing in a linear sense, where you're going from area to area to area, you know. That's just the way progression works. Anyway, that's cool. I like that idea. Swimming, it's always been a funny one. I think Sekiro got it right. There wasn't a whole lot of use for it, but Sekiro got it right. It was the first time to add swimming, and Sekiro, it had like a boost in the water. I think it was really cool. A lot of people didn't like when you dive down and it was very slow. Then it was almost like Mario 64 slow. So I can understand that. But I don't know. Definitely they were experimenting with stuff. You gotta understand, their last game was Sekiro. So if you want to see where From Software are evolving as a studio, you gotta look at their past game, you know. Will they do away with the stamina bar in this game as well? I don't know. Sekiro did get rid of it though. But yeah, the whole tendency stuff, I like that. People have long wanted them to return to a lot of stuff that Demon Souls introduced. But yeah, let's see. The world has a set level design, but there are some entries that lead to procedurally generated rooms and caves. Now this struck me as interesting because it made me think of Bloodborne's Chalice dungeons again, with the idea of procedurally generated areas. I like that. I like that a lot. Or randomly generated, you know. The difference being it changes every time you die or come back in. I like that. That keeps things fresh. It's not always easy to do. Something else I spoke about, maybe for people who weren't quite impressed with the gameplay of, you know, the gameplay leak. I say, like, when a studio goes, you know, from semi-open world to massively open world, you do tend to lose a little bit of graphic fidelity. It's just the way it goes, because you were just rendering so much. It's not easy, you know. So something like Last of Us Part 2 being one of the most beautiful games, you definitely have a lot more graphic fidelity because it's a lot smaller areas, you know. Or big as well, but then I think the king of all beautiful open world games has to be Red Dead Redemption 2. But, you know, Rockstar are absolute fucking wizards. I'd say they were working on that game for 8 years or so. You know, that's the kind of exception to the rule. As much as I love From Software games, that I'm completely addicted to them, and I will love them all individually. I have no ones that I hate. Even Dark Souls 2 is a personal weird kind of like favorite of the Souls series for me. Bloodborne being my ultimate favorite. But it's clear that they've never been exactly the most beautiful games. You know, in terms of graphics, you know, their setting and everything they've been able to pull off that way are just incredible. You know, Bloodborne is a horror masterpiece, absolutely. But, you know, you're not going to go and compare them to something like Red Dead or Last of Us Part 2 in terms of graphics. In terms of graphics, you know, they've always gone for that kind of, even like the old Dark Souls games, they've gone for that PS2, you know, PS3 kind of quality. Everything, every rock has like a triangle-y edge to it, so, you know. But that's not why we get into this. I mean, by the time they got to Dark Souls 3, they were creating absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous areas. Hell yes. Like, what was it? Boreal Valley? The Ethereal Boreal Valley? Well, I can't remember what it's called, but that place is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. It's been a while since I played those. I've had to take a step back from some of those games because, unfortunately, you get turned off them after a while. But that's why it's great to have so many of them, you know. At this point, we have the Dark Souls series, Demon Souls, 4 games, then Bloodborne and Sekiro. I mean, that's a nice chunk of games. We're all very much waiting on the next little part. And Elden Ring could be a new trilogy. Who knows? Who knows? I kind of prefer... I'm that kind of guy, but I prefer when they work on new IPs. There's people out there who want Dark Souls 4. But I think this is going to be a true evolution of all that. Everything they've learned. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. No doubt the combat's going to be amazing. And like I said, I've seen dragons. I've seen like fucking horse-drawn carts and stuff. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Hell yes. Alright, on to the next piece of news. That is all, of course, like I was saying, take all that Elden Ring stuff with a huge grain of salt. It could all be nothing. Because 4chan be 4chan. Now, I don't actually hang out in 4chan. Reporting on that was altcharacter.com. You know, I don't hang out in 4chan. Don't get it twisted. I wouldn't grace that place at all. No way. It needs to be set on fire. People were talking about recently Homefront Revolution. Not the most greatest game, you know. Not a great game at all, really. But recently, people found the code for Time Splitters 2 hidden inside of it. Finally, it has one redeeming quality, which is amazing. They were talking about remaking some of the Time Splitter games, but to find like a 4K port hidden inside of it is awesome. Now, the reason that little code pops up there is people couldn't get into it. The code to unlock it was lost, but was in, with, of course, IGN being IGN, within a matter of hours, people had already reverse engineered. Basically, you find a Time Splitters arcade in the game, and they had reverse engineered the code to unlock it that way. Pretty simple stuff, you know, in terms of like what's going on with data mining and deepfaking right now. It's crazy. So there's the code right there. You can put it in, and you can probably, I'd say the sales of Homefront Revolution will probably get a major boost within the next couple of days, I'd say, and then it'll die down. That's cool. Time Splitters is a series that got literally lost to time, ironically enough, with the name like that. But they need to bring it back, you know. I know a lot of this newer generation do not like people them bringing back games because they don't believe in nostalgia because they don't have it for it. But I think the best games deserve to be preserved forever, you know, and they're not because of these goddamn platform holders would prefer to just fucking shut down the stores instead of giving us away. Then we have to result in pirating, and I hate it. Alright, cool. For any of you fans of The World Ends With You out there, nice little update in news. This is a cool little cult classic that was on the DS back in the day. The graphics art style was very close to, you know, beautiful JRPGs at the time, you know. Something kind of similar to Kingdom Hearts as well. Really cool game. And it's finally getting a sequel, which is called Neo, The World Ends With You. It's hard to kind of explain. It's one of those things. It's very hard to explain what kind of genre it was. It had like turn-based combat. You got now it's all fully 3D. Back then it was kind of it was 2D. It hung about around Japan and Shibuya Crossing and things like that. This looks awesome. Sorry if it's a little bit jittery, but this looks great. I'm glad. I hope you don't often see sequels and that to these cult hits, these very niche games, you know. So when they happen, I hope that every single rabid fan of the old game will purchase it, support it. You know, you won't see these things again unless you support them. Gotta do it. You can see it has a incredible art style. Beautiful comic book, anime style. Hell yeah. Alright. Get into some gameplay, boy. I know, I hate when trailers do that. They just capture one screen. Hold on. There we go. I just want to show you some gameplay. So now it looks like it's going into the real time, which is really good. The original was kind of turn-based. It was a little bit different. It flipped things on its head. But it's definitely apparently like that. A lot of people don't go for the turn-based. You try and introduce any of these new generation to turn-based games, and they're like, nope. Very few of them actually like it. They like to be moving. They want to keep going, pushing forward. Keep on pushing into the future. All right, on to the last piece of news. That is Neo: The World Ends With You, the sequel. The World Ends With You, launching in July. Hell yes. We got Switch, PS4, and it's coming to PC via the Epic Game Store later. Good lord. No sign of an Xbox, but that makes sense because it would appear any Japanese games that make their way to Xbox is a direct result to Phil Spencer going, please sir, pretty please. And I definitely do think that we'll be getting Persona 5 in some capacity soon enough. Give it time, boy. Alright, on to the last piece of news. I've been talking about it before, but the Diablo 2 Resurrected remake is coming out. And my goodness, everything they're doing with this is just fucking genius. They now allow you to switch between the old classic graphics and the new remake with just the press of a button, and it looks awesome. It is not just a simple little thing, you know. I think we've seen a couple of games allow you to do that, you know, change between the old and the new graphics. It's a little bit different. We're talking like whole perspective changes and everything. This is Polygon reporting on it, and Polygon like to do this. They probably nicked it from someone else, but it's really cool where you can actually see the difference just by dragging this across, and I really like it. So there's the old graphics, old classic Diablo 2. Then you just go boom. It's even given a like widescreen and everything. A lot of people are hotly anticipating that one. I can see, you know, Blizzard obviously seeing the success of bringing back some of the old World of Warcrafts and that. Clearly they're going to do a lot of that with Diablo, and this will also buy them time and a lot of money until Diablo 4 comes out, which I would say we'll get it probably sometime late next year. I'd say we'll see. Overwatch 2, Diablo 4. They're working hard on them, but they're a long way away. Trust me. Those things were getting delayed long before COVID was ever a thing. Yeah, that's really cool. I like when you get to do this kind of stuff. Look, you don't even notice it when boom. It's still like, what was it, 4.3 back then? A lot of times, new games that, old games get remastered and made new again, they tend to have widescreen modes, and it just stretches the UI to stupid, I don't know, like, it just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts sometimes that they pay all this attention to it where the game itself won't get stretched in widescreen mode, but the UI is an afterthought. And I believe it's because the UIs back then, a lot of them were practically baked into the game, you know, almost like it wasn't its own separate thing. Yeah, Diablo has always had an incredible UI with health and mana and that. You love it. You love to see it. A lot of kind of spiritual successors have tried to copy it, like Divinity, Original Sin. Alright, cool. That's all the news for today. We exploded things off today with the news about Sony and Naughty Dog. Jason Schreier reporting on the fact that Sony Bend were almost getting basically pushed to the side, used as a side studio to help out Naughty Dog. But it looks like for now, a Days Gone sequel is off the cards. They are working on a new game. They pretty much said, no, we're going to do our own thing. Good for them. Important for them to stand up for themselves. But yeah, things are a little bit uneven right now at Sony. Nothing really to worry about at all right now, but we'll see. I think the first cracks for me were when Sony Japan started to get dissolved, which would appear that, you know, they're starting to restructure their priorities, which sucks, you know. I don't know. We'll see. Don't know about you, but I would prefer many like AA games over, you know, 1 or 2 big AAA games. I like when they experiment like that, like Gravity Rush and things, you know. I like that. I want to see more of that, Sony. Come on, bring Ape Escape back already. So yeah, you can read all about that over at Bloomberg if you want to get more into it. If you didn't follow my ramblings, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, let's move over. We are going to go finish off Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're going to continue this trend we have this week. We finished Nier Automata. Yesterday I finished Spider-Man Miles Morales. And today I would like to finish Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We have put 140 fucking hours into the thing. It is time. We are finally taking over all of Southeast England. And it's time to take on the King of Wessex. This better be the end. I don't like to pre on that kind of stuff because it happens a lot. But yeah, that was your daily dose of game, and thank you for joining me, guys. That's Fridays. I don't do the daily dose over the weekend. It doesn't tend to be too much gaming news anyway. Everybody kind of, they just regurgitate what happened throughout the week. But we'll be back with this on Monday. Hell yes. It's always fun. Like, I try and keep it as low as I can. We've been going for an hour and a half. This is the longest one I've done yet. Mainly because of the Sony news, which is crazy. Let's hope if that Elden Ring rumor checks out, all that cool stuff coming to it, I am on board. I'm on board for that. Absolutely. Give me more to do in the world. Hell yeah. As someone who never really got into PvP, it's toxic as fuck, but that's okay. If you like that sort of thing, that's cool as well. I would like more to do. Give me, like, they're gorgeous worlds. Let me do stuff. Let me hunt. Let me have camps. Let me enjoy your world. Hell yes. More than I already do. From Software, take all the time you need with Elden Ring. We're here for you, boys. We're here.